That's fine, your hunk bump bar didn't have enough bunk or hump! Where's my mustache? Thank you. Hey, what's this?
Alien Hominid, baby. This bad boy was first released as a Flash game all the way back in 2002 on Newgrounds. It only had a single level, but there were a multitude of ways to kill your enemies, while the alien himself only went down with a single shot. The game was played millions of times within a short time period, and its success eventually led to the formation of the behemoth company known as the Behemoth. Who wrote this? The run and gun style of the game is fast paced, and you usually don't dwell on each death. You quickly come back to wreak havoc after dying, and then sometimes die as quickly as you come back, and then wreak more havoc. You get a good number of lives and continues, and racking up points gives you more alien heads to stack up. As funny and cartoony as this game is, it is drop dead hard. Sometimes it can be a bit too cheap with how easily you die, simply from poor positioning that cannot be helped. The console game itself was released in 2004, and was the stepping stone for many great classics like Castle Crashers and Battle Block Theater. The game was eventually ported with HD graphics onto the Xbox 360 and the PS3. They had some minor changes and additions, but also one large subtraction that I will get back into later. For now, let's load this baby up. You get a tutorial of the alien's versatile skill set. You can shoot, charge up your shot, dodge roll, slice enemies like ham, jump on their heads, eat their heads like ham, toss their bodies at others, and even bury underground to pull them into a morbid death. You can also dig underground to collect flowers for a 1-up, but they don't pop up too often sadly. I think only once per chapter, and there's only 3 chapters. Cool, I can beat this game while I wait for my ship to arrive. First off, the UI for Alien Hominid is pretty cool since the menu is basically your PDA. There are some funny options like changing your name. Not enough characters for my name. Perfect. And you can also turn off the blood and gore so the enemies bleed flowers instead. Apparently this was done in response to Australia's rating system. Neat. You can also put on a hat. You start off with a couple of them and then unlock more as you play. So, let's play! We're introduced with a cutscene of our titular alien hominid flying a bit too close to Earth. An FBI agent finally wakes up to do his job and shoots him down. Just look at the expression on Hominid's face. He's like a little trash baby. Anyways, a hominid comes careening towards the city and crashes in front of Fat Kid. No, really, that's his name. And Fat Kid decides to seek revenge for his stolen ice cream and offer us power-ups as we shoot across the stage. Chapter 1 has us rampage across the city. The FBI rolls in with their bullet-resistant trucks. Bullet-resistant, but not bulletproof. We get a couple of matchups with helicopters and this one cool dude with a flamethrower. He takes a lot more bullets to kill too. If you're quick enough, you can grab him from under the ground and also blow up with him. I also love the names they have for most of the buildings here. Most of them were taken directly from the Flash version, but we get some new establishments that we can destruct in exchange for goodies or even hats. See, whenever you hear an air horn like this, that means you just did something that unlocked a new hat for you to wear. The first mini-boss we come across might be recognized by some, since he's the first mini-boss from the Flash game as well. All he does is run towards you haphazardly and shoots a laser, so just use the roof as necessary to jump over him. And the end stage boss has a significant weak point: the eyeball. When you do too much damage, he eventually jumps up to try to kill you with an earthquake. But this can be avoided with a well-timed jump. As long as I get to have my burgers and fries after this match, I'm good. Now it's personal. 1-2 is easily my most hated stage of the entire game. And yes, I mean this right away. The concept is simple. Just hop across cars in the middle of traffic to take out the FBI agents. You can even hijack the cars for cover. And while it's slightly less annoying now that I have a few playthroughs under my belt, this level is still cheap. Strictly for the fact that the terrain is ever changing and the FBI agents can sometimes auto spawn in front of you. The problem with that is sometimes they also immediately shoot you when first appearing, ending your killing streak right away. And while it seems like a no-brainer to just keep hopping into cars, you also have to keep in mind that the helicopters drop missiles to take out whatever car you're in, and whenever you hop out of a car, there's no driver left, so it skids back and takes out the vehicle behind it, causing you to jump on a street by accident. You can avoid death a couple of times with a well-timed jump, but if you miss the timing or if you jump too many times on the road, you're basically roadkill. Also, fun fact, I did look up many speedruns for this game to see if there was any way I can get good at it, and also noticed that they were also subjected to many cheap deaths in this segment. The boss itself isn't too hard, only because you don't have to worry about the random FBI agents coming in to ruin your day. You can just spam charge shots between jumps and then hop into a car when it tries to scrape across the steel. The third stage starts us off on the rooftops. There are an abundant amount of takes to clear out in this stage, and then there's this cool dude that shoots Ice Cube at us. You can commandeer a forklift and take out historical effigies before we get a showdown with two tanks at opposite sides of the screen. And this little matchup is a bit more annoying too because, while it sounds nice, these tanks have a lot of HP. Like, they're tanky, what do you expect? But not only that, if you hop on top of one of them, an FBI agent will pop out and try to shoot you down. They take a few more bullets to kill too. But once you take one out, you can pretty much focus on dodging the other. Once you take them out, they bring down the nuclear? How do you pronounce this?
It's pronounced nuclear.
Nuclear plants and bring birth to a unique boss, Butterscotch. He's a bit different compared to other bosses you've faced in the past. The fire hydrant beneath him is his weakness. Shoot at the fire hydrant to bring out a gush of water so it could spray right in his face. He only has 2 attacks, but they're kinda incredibly annoying to dodge. One is that he lobs parts of himself straight up into the air, and then they come dropping back down to form hands that linger on the sidewalk. If they hit you on the way back down, but if you happen to come into contact with them while they're on the sidewalk, then they slam your head repeatedly against the pavement. Dark. The other attack is annoying only because you only get half a second to see his face change to signal the attack. He vomits at you with frightening precision, meaning you have to jump out of the way. It sounds easy to dodge, but half the time you're either looking up preparing to dodge whatever lumps is coming down, or you're focused on the one other FBI agent that happens to stick around. Basically, you want to make sure that he doesn't get smart enough to actually try to shoot past the fire hydrant, because it sometimes blocks his shots. Anyways, get him wet enough.
Oh my.
Shut up. And he'll melt back into pudding. Next up, we see a couple of FBI agents bullying this poor kid, and we get to start off with a tank. Do the math. This level is more or less the same. Just dash through the city, reach the park, face the sub-boss who is a robot that can run out of breath. What has science done? Careful not to get caught because he'll pound your face in. And the end stage boss is also a blast from the past. He's the final encounter from the Flash game, giving many people a hard time. Except now he's incredibly easy thanks to the charge shot. No, seriously, watch. I didn't even need to move from place. His pattern doesn't change the slightest. He just moves in closer or pulls back further. So all you really need to do is just shoot a charge shot one after another. I tried a little too hard on my first playthrough, so it didn't go as smoothly. It's here where I realized that if you die when he's really close, then he'll punch you as you spawn, and since your invulnerability period is like half a second, you end up dying right when you hit the ground. The HD version actually fixes this by having the fist go right through you.
Oh my.
I didn't mean it like that! As soon as he dies, the stage moves on, and you can see the FBI agents hauling pieces of your ship away. Take out the one helicopter that's struggling and recommandeer your ship. As soon as you take control of your ship, a new FBI vehicle comes lobbing mortar strikes at you. Use your tractor beam to grab these projectiles and then let them drop right back on the vehicle. Also drop some dudes in the chopper, for good luck. And now we're at 1-5, the last stage for this chapter. You can see an arrow pinpointing where you need to go, and you also see the fat kids helping you out by dismantling the helicopter hauling off your basic weaponry. From here it's as easy as going to choppa, reassembling your spaceship and taking out the FBI goons until the bosses show up. On easier difficulties, they're really easy. I actually had a harder time with the mini boss because it just orbits around you, making it difficult to get a shot in. Meanwhile, the second boss can be overpowered by simply moving to the side and then just using your booster when it gets a little too close. I also love the music that plays here, but only on the PS2 version. For some reason, it was swapped out for a generic tune on the HD release, so enjoy this background track while you can. As soon as you take out the big boss, you see that the Russians are up to no good. They're using advanced state-of-the-art software to launch a missile strike at the US. And damn it, alien hominid, we just got the ship back.